In this video, we will take a look into the order by statement. With the order by statement, you can order, surprise, your rows, which means you are selecting in the select and from statement which columns and which table you want to reference. And in the order by statement, you say, okay, in which order I want to represent the data. Let's start right away. So then it starts with the order by statement. So it's a quite easy one. So we are starting by using that one. What is it? So we are just taking select start station name from the BigQuery public data set from bike share. And we're taking the trips data and without order by. So just that we have a first point to start. So now we just have here the start station names and all the start station names, which means one trip starts at the Fallon Street, another one started 8th, or here you see even two started in 8th Street, but we also don't have an order here, right? So here we have one start station name and that one comes again here. So we have a lot of different trips which started in that Fallon Street. So now to have kind of an order, we can add here order by start station name. So it needs to have the same name as in the select statement, or in the, it's not 100% correct, in the from statement. Let's say it like that. Yes. So we can start that and then just need to wait till it's done. So now it's ordering by the start station name, which means at first, based on the ordering, it's ascending. So it's starting with the numbers at the beginning. So the 10 is the first name of the start station name. So it's the 10th, 8th street. And here you see how many trips started with that street. So we can go here and we have still here the same streets. So a lot of trips started in that street. And here we then somewhere switch to the Fallon Street. So we would now, for example, that, let's see, so that we have 362 trips which started in the 8th street, in the 10th, 8th street, and then the next ones are at the Fallon Street. And when we go to the end, then we see that Yerba Buena Center is basically the last one in terms of, okay, just order by start station name because it's here Y. Then that we already learned in the last video. So if you didn't see that video so far, take a look there. There we took a look inside the select and from statement, which is the essential one. So you need always, for every SQL query, you need the select and the from statement. So here you can do now select distinct. Again, what means select distinct? That means every start station name, so every combination of the columns we are shown here, which is in that case just one column, is shown just once inside our final table. So now we see here that as we saw before, we just know, okay, at least one trip started at 10th, 8th Street. Before we knew that it was 360 something. The next one is Fallon Street, then we have the Bryant Street and so on. So now you have a way better order in terms of, okay, which start station names we have at all. So we just have 379 results or rows at the end. So that's the whole magic behind. Now we can say, okay, please also add the end station name. No? Maybe order that now. Depends a little bit. BigQuery is also ordering usually your data already in some kind of way. So due to that, sometimes it's quite randomly. Sometimes you see already quite immediately, okay, there's one column as looks like BigQuery ordered by that automatically if you do not have an order by statement. So now we see still start station name is still 10th, 8th Street. And we have, okay, what were the corresponding end station names? And we have them, all of them just once inside. So we should come already quite immediately. Yeah. For example, now 39 different trips ended at certain end stations, but they all start in the start station 10th, 8th Street. That's, for example, now one thing we can see here. And then it continues with the send at Fallon Street. For all that, you have way better operations to do that, to analyze that, and to get a better overview about it. But that's, for example, one thing you can do, and to get first kind of glimpse of ideas, what the data contains. And for further stuff, we will handle that in the next videos. So then, and then for sure, we can also do here some kind of an ordering. And station name. But for me, it looks like that, for example, now BigQuery already ordered it like that. So when I now order by end station name as well. So at first it orders by the start station name. And then if you have multiple start station names, as we have, then we also order by the end station. But yeah, it's, I think, nearly the same outcome because BigQuery already ordered the end station name as well automatically. Sometimes it does, sometimes it's not. So then we can add here now further columns like subscriber type. And I'm also already adding it here. So again, we are still in distinct mode, I would say, which means the start station name and the end station name can just come twice now, because we have now even the subscriber type, which you see here. So before it was just one row, now we have 2 rows, because there was at least one trip where the subscriber type customer did the trip, and we have at least one line where the subscriber did a trip from 8th Street to 8th Street. And here you see also for Fallon, it's the same, for 8th, for the 12th, and so on and so on. But they all started in the 10th of 8th Street. Yeah, and then let's just do a complete different one. So we also have for sure the bike share station info. So we are taking now a new table, station info. So due to that, for sure, we will get now some errors, because it's a, yeah, but that columns I do not find in the table, which makes sense. So name and capacity. So name is here the name of the station, and capacity is how many bikes that station contains. And now we can say here, okay, let's do at first capacity. And due to that it's an integer, technically, it's also working like that we at first get now the station and then just the capacity, and we are starting with the names or the stations which have a 0 capacity. Or even if it would have, which makes no sense, but if it would have a station a minus capacity, so lower than 0, then that would be even appear before these stations here. And then we also immediately see that the station with the most or with the highest capacity is the Glen Park BART station with 40 bikes in it. And now you can do several things that I would like to show here. So you can say order by capacity ascending. ASC, it's exactly like before. So you still have the capacity at the beginning from 0 of 0, and at the end you still have the same stations. So ASC is just a short way how to write ascending. So that's how you need to write it in BigQuery. And if you do not say if you do not give any order, the default one is always ascending. So you basically do not need to write ascending. What you need to write is if you want to do a descending, so the other way around, then you have to write DESC, and then as you see, Glen Park BART station is now the first one, and the stations which have the lowest capacity are now at the end. So due to that, for sure, that we have a lot of different columns which have 0 capacity, it looks like that, at least in that example now, BigQuery didn't order them, because we have here Balboa Park with B, but here we have an A, here we have an M, so that's quite messy. So what we could do now, we can even add the name, like 1, for example, we can also do. So we can do that. Just quickly showing. So then here, and now we have the Alcatraz at the beginning, or even the 5th Street at the beginning. So that is working, which means the descending just relies to the capacity, and the name, due to that we do not give any kind of information, it's ascending. So then we are taking the default value. What we can additionally do, we can also say 1. Now it's getting crazy. So we can say 2. What does that mean? Capacity, it's the second column we have in our output table, which means here we're also taking order by 2 descending, which means it's the second column, so it's capacity. And then we are ordering by the first column, which is name. We can just quickly show it again. So order by, in that example, so it's always a correlation of the select statement, so which columns you are choosing in the select and which one you are using in the order by is always a correlation. Order by name. So that's basically the same. So you cannot do just have 2, but if you are taking now that one or that one, no difference. But let's try it quickly. And as you see, so still the name Glen Park with 40 capacities at the beginning. And here we still have the ordering at the end, that we have here the 5th Street at the end, but it's the 0 start with that station. So yes, I think that's most of the whole magic behind order by. So let's quickly go through some examples of our order queries, because there we have, for example, a date. So I will just copy the first one, and then we will continue with that one. So we are taking our project data set where our e-commerce data is inside, then the order item table, and let's just run it. So which means order item, one line is one product in an order. Yes, and we order it by order date, where we see that the last data we have in our data, or the last order we have in our data, is from the 9th of April 2021. So it's always year minus month minus day. And the last one appears at the 23rd of September, on the 20th. Then, as you know, we can also do here a distinct, because then we maybe already see, for example, if there were some days where we have no order at all. But at least here, for the first one, it doesn't look like that we have this kind of case. But yes, now we have just every order date once inside. So then we can now continue. So we can select order date, product, oh, that was not correct, product name. And I would also like to order by order date and product name. So I took now out the distinct, but in the next query we will adding it again. Now we see order date, those are still the first ones, and then we see, okay, a lot of people ordered on that date the unisex t-shirt, and then somewhere there should be also other ones. Yeah, I can remember there were a lot of. So let's see. Okay, it's even already entered the new date. So as it looks like, at least in our example data, we have for that date just the unisex data. So here we have now, for example, the order date 20s, and we have a woman t-shirt which was sold. Yes. So that's the whole magic behind. And as you know, we can now do a select distinct, then you don't have to scroll that much. So now we see just every combination of order date and product name just once. And as we saw, okay, there are the first ones in our example data, we have just one product sold. Then we have here an order date where we have even no product name. So that would be, for example, one thing we could investigate. And then we have here the woman t-shirt. And here, as it looks like, we have a way different kind of product inside. Because maybe our shop just started with one product, and now during the last days we even have a lot of different products. So that's it. I hope you have now an idea of what you can do with an order by statement. So you can order your results ascending, descending by different columns, and so on and so on. And please subscribe to our channel. We will publish a lot of new SQL tutorials the next time. You can also check out Medium, where we are publishing a lot of blog posts, and LinkedIn, where we do a lot of posts. So we are available on a lot of different channels. So check it out, and let's see you in the next video.